Hey there fans, welcome to another one of Stroh's wacky adventures. Today we're going to look at different kinds of articulation in figures. Right now we're going to focus on the hips and the different pluses and minuses on the hip articulations. As you can see, I got two figures that's supposed to be seated. I didn't put them in the actual falcon because they won't show up very good on the camera. So I got this Star Trek set. There's a slight issue with Solo. His holster kind of sticks down and it hinders him sitting in straight, but he actually works on the Falcon. Alright, so now there's also another one. There's also the holster. It will move and shift up, so you can actually sit him in a little bit better, but this is not A New Hope Solo. This is a Return of the Jedi Solo body, so we're not going to focus on that. Now, see, I like these straight hip joints because it allows them to sit, but however, there are some issues with some figures, like this sculpted in cowl. It hinders the movement and the joint articulation. It's kind of a little bit soft plastic, but still, even the armor still won't let it raise up higher, so it becomes a problem. Here's a better example. Here's a soft goods one. This will not hinder his joint articulation, but he came with his gown and it was all hard plastic, so there's no way for him to sit down when he's in it. There's also another example without a gown or a robe. So he also has soft goods and he can also sit. Now going on into other people with things that get in the way. See, why do you even bother articulating the hips if you can't sit down? There's no way I did that with him. I cut a slit in it and I ruined the figure, but that was for him to sit down. This is also softer than the other plastic on Thrawn. So moving on to another figure. There's where the articulation got better in the hips, and he is ball hinged here, and he can actually sit down. This was a speeder bike figure though, so he could straddle a little bit, but getting him to sit down in a seat would be a little bit more difficult because it doesn't go forward. Now we'll look at a figure to where he is straddle and his legs move up. Look, this looks like it's not that hard to do. Get lots of range of motion in the legs. This does kind of get in the way, but it's very soft plastic where you can move it up and it's separate from the back part, and you can actually curl this down to where you can sit on it. Let's test him in our chair. See, it's kind of, well, I guess we're going to need a seatbelt to hold him in. Okay, so this is a good example. Soft goods on the side so he can do a stretch on the side. I'm going to have to fix this figure. Somebody drew on him, colored in him. I have to clear that out and give him some new lower arms. His hands are broken off, so he came like that. So, and it would go good with this tethered cowl. Would go good with tethered robes. Okay, so now going on with other ones. The newer figures they came up with these are the vintage collection line. I need someone. Here we go. We'll use regular Empire Strikes Back Solo. Now, I like this idea, but there's a problem. I can't sit him down. You'll have to awkwardly traverse his leg around, and then there's this one don't have it. You don't have joint, so he's just gonna sit. It will work with this solo. Okay, that one is a little bit better. Well, we'll move on to one with a far more better example. Yeah, here we go. See, the stripes don't match up. If you traverse the leg to seating, well, now he won't sit. Oh, I'm worried I'm gonna break this figure. I kind of need this figure. And you have to turn the leg. See, the stripes don't match up. Oops. So you kind of have to twist and straighten out. But now that becomes a problem with this thing, because this is actually attached to the figure side leg, and I can't really traverse this leg. They did a better job on this one. See, where the holster's not attached, and this is a vintage collection one, so I can seat her, and there's no stripes to indicate where her leg seams are, which is okay. It's hidden. So, alright. Good. But it's sitting there. Why can't you just do that on this same on this figure? I don't get it. Okay. Okay, let's move on a little bit more to someone hindered. He's a vintage collection, so he has all those same things as these newer ones. It's just his legging pieces are just in the way. I can't really articulate him and bend him in ways I want. And that's also a problem with the clone trooper armor ones in the legs. He doesn't have armor on the legs, but he is somewhat hindered. And this is the only figure that I have that looks like his body's messed up. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know why he got stuck like that. Or maybe I just have a defected figure. Alright, moving on to other examples. This whole piece is removable, but he looks good with it on. He has full articulation. Even the waist swivels. But this hinders a lot of his movement. This is a good figure. Now here's where some of them, they actually kind of was working on improvements. It has a slit down in the middle, and he can raise his legs, but it's limited. Here's another figure with a slit in it. It's the same issue. I can only bring it up so far because the plastic hinders it. It makes it too tough for it to bend. If I made it out of softer plastic like this, it would work. This is very soft plastic, but they refuse to do that. And they refuse to make good, perfect example for front and all another soft goods figure. See, this works. He can actually sit in a chair. There's nothing hindering him actually from sitting. This is a good one. I don't know why they do that. Alright, let's move on to the elbow joints. They made a few of them with the slanted elbow joints. Some of them I don't mind, especially when you can actually, but his arm is like awkwardly positioned. When I can't get him into a better pose than that. It's just, it hinders it a little bit. Here's a worse example. He has the swivel, slanted elbow swivel, but no ball hinge shoulder. It just goes up and down, and his armor is hindering a lot of movement. Now they're coming out with a lot of stormtroopers with no weapon holster. It's always missing the weapon holsters, and I don't know why this didn't include them anymore. I mean, I like with the holster to put their weapons. Another issue is guys with hoses on them. I only have a couple of them, so when I move his head, the hose comes out. And I was thinking about gluing it in, but if I glue it in and then turn his head, it kind of works, but it limits it, see? Okay, but I don't know why I would turn it very far. Anyway, and he has this cowl, which is also not a bad thing for articulation, and it's kind of neat that it's blowing in the wind and it gets kind of, and the waist articulation, they have a lot of regular swivel, and also they've always been coming out with ball hinge joints. This Solo body is way too fat for the ball hinge, and he's also a vintage collection. Here's one that was in a comic book. He swivels, and this is not bad. It's well hidden and he's still thin. Trying to find another one. Oh, here we go. Our Mandalorian. Now this is where it's good with that slit on the side of the leg because it's hidden under the armor. Actually, I think the Stormtrooper is a better example because it's cut off right at the armor, so which is neat. Okay, but I can't move his leg forward without awkwardly twisting his leg up and possibly breaking the figure, which I'm not going to try. So now here is a perfect example of great articulation. This guy, I can pose him in so many different ways. It's great. This guy is probably my favorite articulated one. He has those weird straddle hips, but I can pose him in great things. Nothing's really that hindered because he has the soft goods, and he's actually pretty flexible. Now you can over articulate. Here's a perfect example of over articulation and horrible articulation. So for the knees, those are okay. Now the hips, he has those weird hips but no upper swivel. And the body, because of the sculpt, it's really not that good of a sculpt, or I mean for the articulation. Even at the shoulders, you can tell it's limited. Oh, maybe not. Okay, I thought it was unlimited. Okay, I guess kind of a okay. Here's where they were slowly integrating into all just straddle. Are they all going to ride speeder bikes or horses? They're all cowboys now, huh? Okay, I didn't think Star Wars had anything. Oh, his leg's starting to come loose. This was an older figure, and he has the, without the slit in. I mean, I can sit him down, but really? A lot of them are also coming out with hinged wrists, which is, I think, is good for the right hand. For the Jedi guys, this is good because they can hold their sword at cool angles, but Here's a Jedi with the wrist bending inward. How do you hold your sword? I mean, really? Creepy Darth Vader creeping around on you. His mold on his helmet looks like it was smooshed down. I don't know. I can't tell. No, it was molded like that. I thought maybe his helmet was glued on the top part, but no, it was molded like that. And I don't know why his helmet is squished on his head, because it's raised over here but squished over there. This more I look at this Darth Vader, the more disappointed I am in him. This is the Black Series one, so yeah, that smushed helmet really disappoints me. Well, I guess that's pretty much all the points I don't want to bring up for articulation wise, and the pluses and minus. Some of them, see, like Chewbacca here, he has a double body hinge. That's cool, and he can sit. His pack kind of hangs out far enough to where he could sit in his seat in the middle. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.